You're driving down the highway, music's playing, wind in your hair, sun bouncing off the dashboard. Feels like freedom, doesn't it? That's what they wanted you to believe. But what if I told you this very road you're on may have erased an entire community, bulldozed homes, torn apart families, and no one ever told you? Beneath the smooth asphalt lies a graveyard of black dreams. This is the story they tried to bury under concrete. It began in the 1950s. America was riding high, victorious from war, brimming with optimism, and building what would become the largest infrastructure project in human history, the interstate highway system. President Dwight D. Eisenhower sold it as a national necessity, a way to unify a sprawling country, move troops quickly in times of crisis, expand the economy, connect Americans like never before. But for millions of black Americans, it didn't connect, it divided, it displaced, it destroyed. There was no press conference, no national address, no moment of silence, but a decision was made, quietly, strategically, to run highways straight through the heart of black communities. Why? Because land was cheap, because black voices were politically weak, because urban renewal sounded better than Negro removal, and because, in the words of one planner in the 1960s, we had to get rid of the blight. That blight was someone's grandmother's house, a jazz club, a barber shop, a church built by freed slaves. Gone. New Orleans, the Treme neighborhood, one of the oldest black communities in America, full of music, Creole culture, and history, until a 6-lane expressway crushed it. Charlotte, North Carolina, the Brooklyn neighborhood, home to over 1,000 black families, dozens of black-owned businesses, and the first public school for black children. Gone. Miami, the Overtown district, a thriving black cultural hub once dubbed the Harlem of the South. Erased. In city after city, the pattern was the same. Route the freeway where resistance was lowest, where the people couldn't fight back. They didn't just build roads, they built walls, psychological ones, economic ones, racial ones. Over 1 million people were displaced by the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, many of them black, many of them poor. They were given eviction notices, sometimes with only 30 days to vacate, promised relocation assistance that never came, shuffled to segregated housing projects or left to fend for themselves. Generational wealth vanished overnight, home ownership gone, businesses shuttered, community ties severed beyond repair. But here's the twist they never tell you. This wasn't just about highways, it was about containment. Urban planners and local governments didn't just route highways through black neighborhoods because it was convenient. They did it deliberately to maintain segregation. In cities like Atlanta, Dallas, and Los Angeles, highways were used as racial barricades. Officials explicitly said it. They wanted to use concrete to separate white and black populations. It was policy, it was planning, it was power. Even the maps were weaponized, redlining, zoning laws, and eminent domain all working together like gears in a well-oiled machine. And for decades, they got away with it. Drive down I-10 in New Orleans. You're riding over what used to be Claiborne Avenue, a vibrant boulevard lined with oak trees and thriving black businesses. That entire stretch is now a gray overpass, the community still trying to recover. In Detroit, I-375 obliterated Black Bottom and Paradise Valley, neighborhoods rich in black culture and enterprise. Today, there's nothing but concrete, noise, and broken memory. And in virtually every major city, you'll find similar stories, buried not just beneath highways, but beneath silence. Ask the elders. They'll tell you about block parties that stopped when the road came, about businesses that closed when foot traffic disappeared, about funerals held for homes no longer standing. In oral histories, photo albums, and faded letters, the truth lives on. This wasn't progress, it was sacrifice, made by people who were never given a choice. Highways didn't just fracture communities physically, they split them spiritually. Children grew up next to roaring overpasses, breathing toxic fumes, unable to play where their parents once danced. Mental health declined, crime rose, Trust in the system disappeared. Because how do you believe in a country that paves over your history and calls it progress? But make no mistake, people resisted. In Nashville, a group of black women chained themselves to trees to stop bulldozers. In New York, activists fought the Lower Manhattan Expressway and won. In cities like Syracuse, Detroit, and Oakland, communities are now demanding that highways be torn down and neighborhoods rebuilt. This fight isn't over, it's evolving. In recent years, a new movement has emerged, highway to boulevards. Cities are exploring ways to replace oppressive highways with green spaces, affordable housing, and thriving urban centers. President Biden's administration has even proposed funding for projects that reconnect divided communities. But critics ask, is it too little, too late? Because no dollar amount can bring back the lives, the land, or the legacies lost. Look out the window. Think about what you're really driving over. It's not just pavement, it's policy, it's prejudice, it's pain. And in every lane, there are stories of what was destroyed to make your ride smooth. America built highways, but it buried people to do it. And now it's time to unearth the truth. If this story moved you, share it. Don't let this history stay buried.